there's a car that just, until I pull my camera out, just would not leave this parking lot. They have come close to me, close here to like where the bush is on the other side. They have come as if they wanted to like talk to me. You know, they didn't put their window down, but as they approached, I'm like saying to my spirit team, do not let them come over here and put their window down and try to talk to me. Do not let them get out their vehicle and try to think they can just come have a conversation with me. So I'm sitting here putting some salt and coconut oil together and then like rubbing it on my legs and stuff like that to kind of keep clean. And these people just, you know, they just watch me, and then they come get closer. They come closer, like I'm talking like right here, like the closest spot, you know. They come and get closer, almost as if to say we haven't left yet, you know, like. And no matter if a certain person might think it's too much to say, no matter if someone else disagrees, I don't feel the least bit bad to say I've called the judgment of death upon all of the vehicles that have passed, all the families represented by the vehicles that have passed me this afternoon, this evening. There are so many more people that have come back in town, and that's where I'm telling them to start with. Start with the ones that don't even belong here, that have come into this area strictly to try to kill me, to try to, in whatever way, shape, or form. They might not be the one to supposedly hold the gun. But all the plotting and everything, you know what I'm saying? Start with them. And like I tell my spirit guys, you know, like, and they know I don't even have to, like, this is the thing. I'm so magical, I don't have to do anything. I don't have to do a return to sender. It just happens. My guides do it, or it's just done. That's how I've got it. But tonight, I did do a little something with my hand, and I did with my mouth, call down judgment on y'all's ass. As I stood on the corner, it was still daylight-ish, right before dusk. And I put my hand, let me see if I can get my hand on camera. And I put my hand, God, it's hard to do this. Oof. Put my hand like this. And I was standing up. So like the cars are coming this way, and I've got my hand. And like if it's a big bus, I might go like this and like make the shape of the bus. And if it's just a little car, put my hand like that. And so if there's 3 going, I'm moving my hand this way, like this. And it's like, you know, almost like a video game or something, you know. And it's like, I'm saying, you know, I'm saying different things, but a lot of what I'm saying is, I call judgment on these people, the judgment of death, upon every family represented by these vehicles. That means that if your children got left at home, they're still part of the judgment. And hit them where it hits hardest. Take away what's most precious to them. If it's their children, if it's their money, if it's their own life, and give them time, at least 5 minutes of time, even if it's going to be their last breath, to reflect on why it is that this is coming upon them. And tonight I was at the grocery store, and I had bought something to eat, and I was, you know, I've been game stalked all day long on the bus, at Kroger, everywhere I am. I mean, honestly, there's been a couple times today I felt like saying, would you like to come to the bathroom with me and wipe my ass? I mean, but they probably would, so I just didn't go there. But, and it's so many men, but it's not just men. And these people are so condescending to me. But I was buying this oil and salt for this purpose before I was leaving Kroger. So I was just getting those 2 things. I'd already had my food and all that. And I went to self-checkout because that's what they mostly have. But it was kind of, the machine can kind of just malfunction. And I had scanned both items, but it was acting like I hadn't. So it called for the attendant. And she just was really rude. She was just like, well, you got to use this and you got to do that. And she's like, well, you're going to have to use the whatever, the little hand controlled scanner, right? And I'm looking at her as she's saying it. So I pick the scanner up, but at that point they're both items are showing. So I'm like, so you're telling me I need to use this? So which one do I need to scan again? You know? And she's like, well, no, you don't need it. And it was just, she was just so, I don't know. She was just unnecessarily rude, unnecessarily short-tempered, unnecessarily ugly. And then she was like, well, if you don't do it like that, then it's gonna call me over here. And I just looked at her like I can't even get the tone, the way she said it. It was worse than that. But it was like, there was no reason for her. And I just kind of looked at her like I was like kind of surprised that she just was so ruffled, really over nothing. And I can't help that the thing called her over, and I didn't do anything wrong. And I'm the kind of person that if I have, like, I would say, oh, I'm sorry, you know, I'm very humble. Too humble. I've been too humble. That these people think that they can just, hey, we're going to go, we don't want her to live her life. She's got a lot of good karma and a lot of good everything. We've been stealing from her as a group. We've been stealing from her for 47 years. She doesn't deserve to live. Come on, y'all. We're driving up from Florida. We're driving up from Georgia. We're driving over from Tennessee. We're driving over from we're flying over from California. We're driving down, we're flying down from New York, wherever the fuck they are, all over the place, right? Lots of people are here, and they're here because of me. And so, once again, I've called judgment. And I was walking here after that incident with the lady. Oh, I know what I wanted to say. Okay, she had walked off. And I paid for my 2 things, and she was, you know how they kind of stand at the head of all the different self-checkouts. I went up to her, and I definitely kept like 2 arms length distance. I wasn't like getting in her face. I'm just not like that. And she's kind of an age where she's probably like 30 something. I mean, and I don't know if she has children or not. So I said, do you have children? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, well, like, have your children ever been murdered and then you're being gang stalked every day? And she was like, bitch, get the fuck out of my face. You're talking about my children. And I don't know like what she was thinking, but I didn't ask about her children in any way, shape, or form to insinuate that I would want to harm her children. That's not all what I was saying, but I almost feel like she was so, I don't know. Maybe that's what she thought I was trying to insinuate. But what I was trying to insinuate, or the point I was trying to make is, I know very well she's part of this group. She's being rude to me for no goddamn reason. I haven't done shit wrong. And here I am, my daughter, who's 18, was murdered about 5 or 6 weeks ago. And they all drank the blood and killed my little son, who was 18 months, 10 years ago. Let me discover his body so that the police could question if there was foul play. And there was, but the police and the coroner and whoever did the autopsy and all of that, and the whole funeral home, which is owned by a Mormon guy, and that's the one in Franklin, Virginia, and it looks like a old tower type princess looking house. It's a whole huge conspiracy, and they killed my son Ethan. They've killed my daughter Galena, but I know that my other children, whoever doesn't go against me, Ethan was an exception, but whoever's still living with their god-awful father who's molesting them, and that's why Galena wanted to move out the day she turned 18. And she didn't tell me, but I know without a doubt. But here's my point. I'm kind of getting sidetracked. Here's my point with the lady. She could probably not handle breaking a couple nails or spraining her ankle on the way to the bathroom. She can't handle even doing her job without being just really a bitch about it for no reason. When you're dealing with a customer who's actually not in any way losing their cool or being ugly to you. And I wasn't asking if she had children for any reason except to then share, like, you know, like, in other words, it's kind of like the elephant in the room. Like, everyone knows that they've killed my children, and I'm like just trucking on. I'm sleeping here in the grass. I get up, and every day I'm being harassed in some way, shape, or form. Sometimes it's verbally, but it's at least always a constant stalking. Literally, always. If I change in my routine, which I've tried to the last couple of days, they're recalculating because I've spent way too much time at Kroger. And so every time I go to Kroger, all the tables are full with like them leaving me like, okay, that's where she has to sit. And we're watching her from every angle. And I would have said a few days ago that it seemed like they had backed off and maybe they were learning a lesson, but they're not. And I'm really seeing that. But this lady, and she knows who she is, and she's got real short hair, shorter than mine, and she's got it cropped in like natural, and it's dyed like bleached like a golden kind of color, golden blonde. And she works at Kroger, and she was wearing a red vest, and I don't know her name, but she's just ugly. And my point is look, I'm not even being rude to you, and y'all have killed my child recently. Y'all have recently killed my child that should have gone on to be able to, have a long, wonderful life, and not just that I care about her having children and me having grandchildren, but there's a lineage there that got cut off. She was going to eventually be a mother. I was going to have, many grandchildren possibly by her. You're cutting off my lineage. Now, my lineage is not cut off altogether, but my point is people like her treat people like me like shit when they know goddamn well the kinds of things they have done to me, and that I am still put one foot in front of the other. I'm smiling, and you know what? She's the kind of person that I have said, how are you today, or something. I'm talking less and making less small talk with these people, because before I went to jail, which I was in jail for 5 weeks, but before I went to jail, like I would say 2 weeks before that, it was made known to me, like, this is pretty much everybody. Like, this is everybody. You can pretty much just say everybody knew but you. Everybody knew but you that you were in this, program, MK Ultra, whatever you want to call it. That everyone, not everyone in the world, but at least everyone in Virginia, and it's way bigger than that. But, I was put in a family and in the city, which I grew up in Virginia Beach, but I was put in a family in a city of a state that is so full of these pedo people, these pedo cannibal people, that every single friend I've ever had, from whether it was first grade, my teachers, I've had teachers that molested me, every single friend or boyfriend or anybody, pretty much, everybody, with the exception of my younger children who are innocent, have been part of this group. Everything, my whole life has been like the Truman Show, and I never have seen that movie. I only understand the premise of it, and when I've seen the little trailer or whatever, I'm like, oh my god, So y'all are all like these people are angry at me. I feel their anger. They resent me because I have freed myself from being under their thumb, and I have reclaimed my life, and I have every good thing coming to me, every good thing that I have that has only been stolen in all these years. And because I have done what I've done, it's going to affect every single last one of them and the whole earth, because the world has turned, if you will, and they're on the bottom of the wheel, and they've never been on the bottom of the wheel. So anyway, I did my hand thing again, and I did this, a month and a half ago, several days in a row, and I've put cherry stain on my face and walked up and down, and I was called once to do a wicked witch laugh, which is not my normal at all, and I was like, I have called judgment on these people already. And what I said earlier, I'm making a video so that there's proof, okay? But what I said is, because it wasn't dark like it is now when I did this, I said, let there be accidents tonight in Midlow and Richmond. Let the people, and it won't be everybody, of course, but let there be accidents, and not accidents, but vehicle collisions starting tonight let the people let it be recalled into their mind when their friends, let's say, are in an accident, a vehicle collision, that, oh, Ocean was out there doing that thing with her hand. Let them know. And like the lady from Kroger, I don't know what her name is. Bitch face. Okay, how about that? The rude bitch. It's not about her children. I was making a point about my children being murdered. But let something befall her. Maybe let her lose her job, or, something hit her hard so that she knows what it feels like to have to put one foot in front of the other. And I don't just put one foot in front of the other. I'm thriving now, despite anything and everything that has been done to me. But these people are used to all those years that they were laughing at my calamity, and at the worst of it, when I had very high anxiety, because I didn't know anything about black magic. I didn't know everybody in my family, adult-wise, was putting, hexing and everything. I didn't know I was in a false marriage. My marriage at the Mormon church, that they would put a hex on me that day. That's why it was such a lengthy, strange. I remember it being strange. And honestly, if I had known to trust my gut back then, I would have just said no. But I look back and there was no way I could get out of it, because everybody in my family is part of this. They set me up in every way, shape, or form. So this is destiny. I was destined to take down this whole Illuminati group. And these people are pissed. And they still think somehow, which I think they do know, they can't, but they're still hoping to somehow be able to do something. And I see all y'all. I see there's a lot more of you back in town, but you see that I'm still here. I've been sleeping out here in the grass. I don't even have a box tonight. I have a sheet only. And there's the road. I'm right here. And y'all see me. And you can't do anything. You can't touch me. And if you do touch me, like the lady who assaulted me, you die. And you die anyway, because Earth is being eradicated, if that's the right way of saying it. I might have an extra syllable in there. And I don't feel bad about calling this judgment, because these people are relentlessly pursuing me still. And from what I understand, they have tried to kill other of my children, but my children who are innocent, which happen to be the younger ones. See, Galena tried to kill me. She had tried to choke me. And I know now that she was put up to that. It was probably to gain entrance to this group. And her brother Uriah, who is 2 years younger, thankfully kept pulling her off of me. But she had put her hands around my neck with all her might, trying to choke me over and over and over. And so I've been told, my understanding is, my children who are innocent, who have not turned against me, or who have not done something, even if I think Asher might have testified in court with a lot of pressure from his dad to say things that weren't true. He's not accountable for that. That's not the kind of thing I mean. But something that they can't come back from. Otherwise, my children will be miraculously returned to me when all this stuff goes public. I'm going to have my children back. I won't have all my children back, and I don't know which ones. I don't know where the cutoff is. I don't know, let's say Uriah. I don't know if Uriah, who is, 17 now? Maybe 16, 17. I think he's 17 now. He might be 16. But I don't know with him. And then I think Asher and Micah and Ellery and Yuri, which are 6'8", approximately 6'8". No, it's like 7. It's like 7, 8. They were 6'8", 10, and 13. But I think some of them have had a birthday recently, and so it's not quite that. But anyway, those children will be returned to me. And these people who are like harassing me, like they're not innocent, and I don't know that they've stopped with the sacrifices. I don't have any certainty of that, but these people are murderers, they're traffickers, and they deserve to die. And any part of me, I'm not a Christian and I don't like the Bible, but any part of me that used to think that the judgment of that God, which is Lucifer, Satan, Moloch, it's not any God I serve anymore. But when I used to think certain parts of the Bible were too harsh and I couldn't understand, now I think it's fitting for certain things. It's fitting. But I still don't like the Bible. These people, they deserve the judgment of death. They deserve to be hit where it hurts the most. My family and my false husband of 28 years and 16 pregnancies, 11 of those being vaginal births, and miscarriages, and children died at him and his family and my family and tons of strangers black magic as they watch on at my grief, and they feign, these family members of mine, like even my older children, they feign grief that isn't real. And these people take out fraudulent, insurance claims, and I'm sure they took out an insurance claim before they killed Ethan, which is awful. And these people who they just get rich off of everyone else suffering is sadistic, and they deserve to have judgment called on them. The judgment of death, not just judgment, the judgment of death. And so I don't feel bad, and you don't agree with me, that's fine. But I'm not doing it for a popularity contest. I'm not doing it so people come to my channel and are like, oh yeah, she's going down. No, I don't know anybody like that, honestly. And some people they say they're being shadow banned, but they might have 3.5 thousand views for their videos typically. You'll see my views and you'll see how many subscribers I have, and all my subscribers are these people, and I only think I have 95 subscribers, and that's up from, it was at 70 something for a long ass time. But see, all these people, and most of them don't subscribe, but they definitely check out my channel. But I'm being shadow banned severely because I have I've written so many poems, and then I have other things besides poetry, but I have some people have 300 or 400 videos and they have tens of thousands of subscribers. I don't know exactly how many I have right now, but I have 2,000 videos and under 100 subscribers. So I'm being severely shadow banned, and it's already won. I've been saying the same old thing, but I just want to make a record of, once again, my magic, if you want to say. I'm magical without having to do anything, honestly. But I'm asking my team to help y'all to see my power and what I've called tonight. And I'd like to see some evidence of it. I'd like to see some evidence. I told him, hey, let there be, not a collision too close where I'm in danger, which I know I'm protected, severely protected. But let there be some collisions where I can see the traffic from it, or and that's happened day after day. Actually, after I did this before, I don't know, it was a month, probably 2 months ago. Do y'all remember? There was literally an accident every single day, and I think one day there was even 2. And one of them was right out front, right across the street from the storage unit that I rented. And like, there was just, and the traffic was just completely backed up. And I knew it was very spiritual. I knew that this was related to a judgment for these people because of what they've done to me and to other innocent people. I didn't feel the least bit bad. And there were people who died, and I didn't feel the least bit bad. And if that makes me seem like I'm sadistic, I'm not. But that's the thing, is my spirit team has told me what they deserve is death. And you can look back at my videos, and there's definitely a video of me crying and pleading to these people. These people are not sorry in the least. And that's why death is required, because they won't stop any other way. They won't stop coming for me, and they won't stop trafficking, you know. A lot of it's children. It's not just children. And they are being stopped. So this video is just for reference, because we're going to see what happens. And y'all are going to see my power, and y'all are going to see your calamity, and I'm going to see your calamity. And at this point, I would say that makes me happy. Y'all deserve every last bit of what you have coming, and it's here. So bring it on.